on one weekend. I could tell you on Friday, oh, I don't think it's likely, and maybe it'll happen on Monday, and you will think that I was misleading you. So it can happen.
No, with Trump, we totally get it. Given the fact that on the other side of the negotiating table is President Trump, we won't blame you. We'll get why that happened.
So, we've had, there's no lack of communication. There's no lack of negotiation. It's something which has gone through multiple rounds. We have to see when the call is taken and on what terms. So if you ask me, could it happen soon? My answer would be, sure, very possible. If you say, well, maybe soon may take a little longer, maybe, I don't know.
As India marks 77 years as a republic, this moment is about far more than remembering the day we wrote our constitution. It is about honoring the promise it carried, a sacred pledge sustained by 77 years of hard work, sacrifice, and the collective will of 1 billion+ people, viewers. Every story you see on this special edition of India Ascent is of growth, confidence, courage, and change, and is a promise that we as a nation, as a republic, will celebrate our future, our past, and continue to keep it together. It's also a pledge to our generations that are yet to come of what India will build, protect, and become on the world stage. I'm Gauri Dwivedi, and this week we talk about India's ascent at 77. This Republic Day, as India marks 77 years as a republic, the world around it feels anything but stable. Power blocks are hardening. Wars are in fact dragging on. Alliances are fraying, and nations are being told to choose a side or pay a price. India has chosen something else. Despite pressure, tariffs, threats, and persuasion, India is navigating these choppy waters with one hand steady on the wheel. National interest first. Take energy. In 2025, India was singled out, slapped with a 25% tariff for continuing Russian oil imports. New Delhi held its ground. Not defiance, but necessity guided our policy. Energy security feeds 1.4 billion people and fuels the world's fastest growing economy. And today, even Washington is quietly hinting at a rollback. And that is conviction, viewers. Let's now talk about diplomatically. India refuses to be drafted into any instability, whether it's volatile neighborhoods, fragile regimes, or great power rivalries. From Gaza to Ukraine, from Washington to Beijing, India engages, but on its own terms. And this is India's strategic autonomy. And here is the big difference. India is not only surviving global turbulence, but is also growing despite it. In 2026, India remains the fastest growing major economy. IMF has raised our growth forecast to 7.3%. What's the world growth rate? It's 3.3%. That's the difference. We are lifting the world economy. Exports are expected to cross the $1 trillion threshold. And Digital India is powering 800 million internet users, with UPI processing more transactions than Visa globally. This, viewers, is growth with leverage. At 77, the Indian Republic is no longer asking for space at the table. It is designing its very own table and is asking everyone to join it on equal terms, of course. As the world searches for anchors in instability and uncertainty, India is charting its very own course. We are not aligned. We are not isolated. We are unmistakably independent. And viewers, that's proving to be India's most powerful signal to the world in a flux. Now, viewers, India got independence at the same time as many other countries. And around the world, there is a question that lingers. Why aren't we a Singapore? Why aren't we a Japan? Why is India not a Germany? Well, the answer to that, viewers, is context. And this Republic Day, let's tell you that for nearly 200 years, India endured extraction, deindustrialization, man-made created famines, a partition, a nation structured to enrich others at our cost. To ask India to catch up without acknowledging this history is the colonial memory that is at work. And yet India did not just survive, but it reclaimed its civilizational confidence. Take Ayodhya. It is more than just a site. It's a restoration of history, disrupted by conquest and colonial narratives. The flag hoisting ceremony, which marked its formal completion, is its revival, a historical correction. Let me now take you to Somnath, a site repeatedly destroyed over centuries. 1,000 centuries back it was first attacked. Every time it was rebuilt, asserting self-respect and continuity, reclaiming a legacy never meant to be continued. And that has survived. And as we celebrate the Indian Republic, it's the Macaulay mindset that we need to get over, viewers. The system that trained generations of Indians to devalue and disown their own knowledge, history, achievements. Challenging it is not anti-West. It is pro-self, reclaiming the dignity of Bharatiya thought and civilizational knowledge. And let me now play out exactly what the Prime Minister is now asking India to do next.
आज से 190 साल पहले साल 1835 में 1835 में मैकाले नाम के एक अंग्रेज ने भारत को अपनी जड़ों से उखाड़ने के बीज बोए थे। भारत को गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्त करके रहेंगे।
77 years ago, when India's republic came into being, now Bharat is choosing a direction. The republic we inherited is being quietly re-anchored, not just in parliament, but in homes, offices, campuses and screens. A generation is questioning power, redefining success, refusing burnout. They are not waiting for permission. On this special broadcast, we look at how Gen Z is changing the character of New India and how they will power the next phase of a new India. Take a look.
There's a subtle shift underway in India, and it's easy to miss if you're only looking for noise. India's Gen Z, nearly 380 million strong, is not chasing the old symbols of success. They're chasing control, control over time, control over skills, control over meaning. Half of young professionals now place work-life balance above salary. 8 in 10 say mental health support is non-negotiable. They reject exhaustion as ambition. They reject hierarchy without honesty. And while the stereotype says they're distracted, the data says otherwise. 83% already use generative AI in daily work. 94% value real, hands-on learning over theory. For them, growth is capability. Yet, this is also a generation under pressure. More than half live paycheck to paycheck. So they diversify, study and work, freelance and build. Create portfolio careers that didn't exist only a decade ago. Here's where India's largest story converges. A nation targeting a 30 trillion economy by 2047. Needs skills before slogans, trust before titles, and systems before speeches. Gen Z demands transparency. 65% rank it above everything else. India responds with deregulation, digital public infrastructure, and a state that moves faster, leaner, and cleaner. They worry about the planet, 84% feel climate anxiety. India accelerates clean energy, EVs, and sustainability at scale. This is alignment unseen anywhere else in the world. A generation asking harder questions and a country confident enough to answer them. This is the new Republic dynamic. This is how India ascends.
To talk more about how can India's Gen Z take the nation forward, I have two very interesting voices, two very important women. Prajakta Kohli, who is one of India's most influential digital creators, and Dia Mirza, who is an award-winning actor and associated with the United Nations for the work she's done in climate and climate advocacy. In fact, Prajakta, let me start with you. As we talk about the kind of work that you've been doing, let me start by asking you that as a Gen Z woman, what kind of a role model do you think you are for women, for youngsters to take the country forward?
I think one of the biggest strengths that the women today, especially at that young age group, have is that they're a lot more daring. They're a lot fearless. They're a lot more kind of gutsy when it comes to putting things out there. I feel like they're a lot more unhinged, and that might just work in our favor in general. So I think the fact that they also grew up at a time where all these conversations were kind of loud and clear for them to consume and learn from online, that changed a lot for them. So I have a lot of hope.
All right, Dia, on this Republic Day, how do you see Indian women redefining freedom, not just for themselves, but for India as a whole?
A woman across stratas of society who is staking claim of her authentic, true voice, who is being able to pursue the full potential of her being, is leading, right? And it doesn't matter what a career choice she makes, whether it is a woman in agriculture, or it's a woman in education, or it's in entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. Each time a woman has access to education, to mobility, to freedom from fear, and access to just, becoming the full potential of who she is, she's leading.
Prajakta, in one line, what does nation building mean to a 20-something-year-old right now, particularly for a young girl?
For me, I think when it comes to nation building, it really is going above and beyond the physical borders of my country to tell everybody about how amazing things are happening around here in my universe, which is the creator universe. For example, a couple months ago, I was actually in a few cities in the US for my book. We were doing a book signing tour. And I cannot tell you the pride I felt in actually going and putting my book next to a lot of these other bestsellers in other countries, saying, okay, here's my representation of the place that I come from. And here's a story that I didn't kind of mince and make into a more palatable place because I want the world to see it. I love that the eyeballs are actually already on the country. I remember going to the UN for the first time and touching our flag in the hallway. And that was my first ever time touching a physical Indian flag. And that feeling is unprecedented. So every time I have moments like this, for me, that's what I want to kind of contribute to going forward, where I want to put whatever the little work I'm doing on the map for people to see that this is a country that can build voices and creators such as myself and so many others.
What about you, Dia, on this Republic Day? What is your one hope for Indian women and one promise you believe women are making to the future of India?
I dream of a country that truly celebrates Sujalam, which is pure water, Sufalam, which is abundance, prosperity. And women and girls cannot be, neglected in this process. In fact, I believe that women and girls are going to lead the way and show the way and define the way for our country and our communities and the world at large.
That's a lovely thought to end this conversation. Thanks so much, Diya and Prajakta, for speaking to me on India Sense. On that note, viewers, a quick break. We return with some of the other stories that are going to define India's ascent going forward. Stay tuned.
Okay, that's your cruise all booked.
We can't wait.
Have a great trip. Come on.
Shall we?
Love Q or hate Q? Remember to take a break from Q. Mr. Q!
I'll start from the beginning, shall I? The Wool Runner is a celebration of 10 years of Allbirds comfort. There is a growing awakening broadly about the power of nature and the potency of natural materials. Allbirds was founded to help nature make a comeback. Introducing the new Wool Runner NZ. Better things in a better way.
Every 3 minutes, someone in the UK dies from cardiovascular disease.
I went home.
Rushed in.
Yes, yeah, I'm about to go.
Oh, sorry.
She likes boiling in. My basketball friends, they've come to pick me up. I was playing really well, but my heart just couldn't take it. And then I ended up collapsing on the floor.
It's a genetic condition. So his brother and his dad have both got that gene. A lot of his dad's side of the family have heart conditions.
I'm proud because, unfortunately, you know, it's not everyone survives, but knowing that I did just means the world to me. I've hoped that in the future, people won't have to go through all of the bad stuff. We can just be teenagers again.
Jack survived, but many don't. British Heart Foundation funds research that aims to cure inherited heart muscle diseases. But our work is not done. To donate £5, £10 or £20, text 5, 10 or 20 to 70499.
Are you losing money on high energy bills? You could save £198 a year on your energy. Switch and save now at uswitch.com.
So I've just got Sun Life's guaranteed over 50 plan. Super easy, no medical questions. I finally have the confidence to devote myself to my craft.
Woodwork?
I even made this.
Really?
With Sun Life, there's a guaranteed cash payout. But this is one less thing you'll have to spend it on.
Don't miss out on our limited time offer. Call or search Sun Life Plan today.
Unexpected expense. Drafty's got your back. Borrowing £100 for a month costs less than £6. Apply at drafty.co.uk.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
When facts are fragmented, we put the pieces together. Where power collides with truth, we are there.
Behind me is that massive security arrangements that are in place.
Behind fractured boundaries, we clear the fog of war. Fault Lines with Gauri Dwivedi, only on NDTV World.
All right, let's now talk about the big economic powerhouse that India is set to be. A nation that doubled its economic output in a decade. One that has become the world's fourth largest economy and is now standing on the threshold or cusp of a historic milestone. A historic milestone within a decade that many young Indians will live through, shape and define. This is India set to become a $10 trillion economy. You see, New Delhi's economic story is no longer just an arithmetic progression. It is now a geometric progression. In the last decade, India's GDP has doubled, crossing over $4.2 trillion as of 2025. The broad economic pulse that's spanning across factories and freelancers, exports and entrepreneurs now beats with growing momentum. Analysts from Goldman Sachs say India is poised to reach $10 trillion in the next decade, maybe sooner, with global capacity centers or GCCs alone adding roughly about $500 billion in value and jobs. That's roughly 2.5 times the size of the economy we had just a decade ago. And what's really driving it? It's a combination of boom in services, a swelling base of talent, institutional reforms, and an expanding domestic market hungry for innovation. India's consumption market is going to be the largest by 2030. We're already the fourth largest economy, outpacing powerhouse nations and eyeing the third spot by the end of this decade. Growth forecasts for the current year remain extremely robust. Global bodies like the IMF lifting India's annual growth outlook to 7.3% is a signal of sustained resilience. And when you reach $10 trillion, you reach that threshold point where millions of jobs are getting created and do get created. Add to it the massive startup economy that India has been able to create, one that is now going to create innovation and entrepreneurship. At $10 trillion, India won't just be big. It will be influential. It will be innovative. And most importantly, it will be indispensable to the global power play. And I think that's the single biggest promise that India is making to its people, to the world, and to its future generations. India's ascent on full display, this time on the world's biggest economic stage. Recently concluded Davos summit, where there was a label meant to downplay India's AI strength, instead ignited a powerful pushback. That's the new India. What followed was proof that India isn't a tier 2 player in artificial intelligence, a rising force reshaping the future, and one that is set to play host to the who's who of AI in the world in the next 3 weeks. This report tells you more.
World Economic Forum, where nations debate the future of technology and where one country's prowess in artificial intelligence was thrust into the spotlight. On the AI Power Play panel, a powerful label was dropped, Tier 2 AI Power. The IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva's remarks implied India lagged behind the top echelon of innovators. But this was no ordinary talk, because sitting across the table was India's IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, who immediately corrected Georgieva.
Our focus is very much on making sure that AI diffusion happens in a very big way. And I don't know what the IMF criteria has been, but Stanford places India as third in terms of AI penetration, in terms of AI preparedness, and in terms of AI talent.
The Stanford study suggests that India ranks ahead of several advanced economies. The Ivy League institution's Global AI Vibrancy tool, which assesses AI competitiveness, ranked the US first, China second, and India third for 2025. That's not all, as India moved up from the 7th place the previous year, surpassing countries like the UK, South Korea, Singapore, and even Japan. Speaking exclusively to NDTV later, the IMF chief retracted her big claim, undermining India's AI capabilities.
We have admiration for India, for how India has developed over the last years in terms of fabulous reforms, in terms of building digital public infrastructure amazingly well, and in terms of the IT-skilled labor force.
Vaishnav didn't just quote rankings, he laid out India's strategy. 38,000 GPUs accessible to students, startups, a program underway to train 10 million people in AI, and most importantly, AI solutions built for real impact. This isn't just about building the largest model on paper, but about building AI that works in fields, in factories, in classrooms, in every corner of a billion-plus population. At Davos, India didn't just defend its ranking, it seized its identity as a major global AI force. The message is clear. India won't be undermined, it won't be sidelined. It is rising, fast, focused, and formidable.
Brian's eligible for an Ocean credit card with a limit of up to £8,000. And now he feels Ocean confident. Check your eligibility for an Ocean credit card and feel Ocean confident.
Whatever you need to ask about cancer, Macmillan's free support line is just a call away.
Hello, Macmillan.
Whether it's money,
Am I going to lose my job?
getting on with life,
Can I still go abroad? Get insurance?
or just need someone to listen,
How do I tell them?
our specialist advisors are here to help as often as you need them. Whatever you need to ask, cancer, money, life, call us now on 0808 134 1000.
With Post Office Over 50s life cover, enjoy peace of mind knowing your family will receive a guaranteed payout when you're gone. UK resident 50 to 80, your guaranteed acceptance. No health checks and from just £1.15 a week. Plus free 24/7 GP access with the health and wellbeing benefit. Purchase and receive an amazon.co.uk, M&S or dining out gift card worth £125. Call Post Office on 0800 171 2211.
This is Nell. Today she's happy and loved, but it hasn't always been that way. Like thousands of other animals, Nell is still alive today because of the RSPCA and animal lovers like you.
It was horrendous. Lots of dogs howling in distress for days at a time. Opening the door, the smell just hit me. They were starving and they were shaking in fear, and the thinnest dog, Nell, she was so weak I had to carry her out. It was devastating.
Every day, starving and terrified animals are saved by animal rescuers like Nina, but that's only possible with your support. Please call or text the numbers on screen to give £2 a month.
I've been at the RSPCA for many years, and I'm alarmed at the severity of cruelty and neglect that are facing animals right now. But I can't get there without the help of animal lovers donating to the RSPCA. Together, we can rescue animals like Nell before it gets too late and give them the vital treatment, love and life-changing care that they deserve. The lovely Nell with her lovely new owner. It's quite the transformation, isn't it?
Today, Nell has a second chance at happiness, but for many, the suffering hasn't stopped. The most abused and neglected animals rely on the RSPCA to rescue them. By working together, we can be the reason they survive. Please call 0800 121 4201, text ALIVE to 85525, or visit our website to start your monthly gift today.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
The International Cricket Council has taken a firm decision against Bangladesh. It has now been replaced by Scotland in the upcoming T20 World Cup. We get you all the details of that big story. I'm Gauri Dwivedi. You're watching NDTV. Let me first get you a big check of some of the other stories that we're tracking for you. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has praised Prime Minister Modi for treating the Constitution as sacrosanct. The BJP has seized on those remarks, launching a scathing attack on the Congress party, projecting them as proof of deep discomfort within the party. Congress is trying to, meanwhile, ensure that the fallout can be contained. The Congress versus Shashi Tharoor saga explodes. Mega NDTV scoop on the inside track of what could happen next. Shashi Tharoor is set to meet the Congress party's top leadership during the upcoming budget session of the parliament. The meeting is set to address the core grievances of Shashi Tharoor. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin's blistering attack on Governor R.N. Ravi says the governor insulting the position of the governor and also ridiculing the constitution. States no chief minister before him has faced such challenges like he has from the governor's office. Noida techie death probe intensifies. The authorities submit a 60-page reply that has not satisfied the SIT. More action likely against the officials. United States has once again turned its attention to Greenland, this time not through official statements but through a viral meme where White House posts AI photo of Donald Trump and a penguin in Greenland gets trolled as there are no penguins in Greenland.